So I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a leak, and a bad leak, coming out of my oil pan. Houston, we have a gigantic problem. I've almost filled this whole container up with oil. At this point, the whole oil pan is gonna have to be replaced. So the issue that we have is that the van at this point is no longer drivable. I'm gonna have to figure out how to patch an oil pan because it's leaking from the bottom, and there's some good news in this and some bad news in this. Right now we're just trying to find the silver lining, but you know, this is something that you know, is probably the worst case scenario for being on the road, but it could have been much worse. So I put some JB Weld on there, and basically it's just if you've ever mixed like Bondo or a paste, it's really a paste. Just mix it up, and I put it like in a little tin tray, and I just mix it up, and I use a putty knife to put it on there. It goes on pretty well. I put it on pretty thick, but JB Weld on this project is going to take 3 days to cure. 3 days. So you got to keep that in mind when you're using JB Weld, but it does have a long cure time, and if you're on the side of the road, that's going to be a problem if you need to put JB Weld on something and make it work quick. Otherwise, probably I mean, even go with the Flex Seal or some kind of bond tape to stop the leak. But in this case, I was at base camp and I just put a bucket underneath it. Very lucky that the van, oh, it was leaking down the road. Yeah, there's a trail of oil coming into the RV park. Oh, absolutely. It's if I got lost, just follow the oil leak. Okay, so JB Weld is really your go-to product for full-time life on the road. They make a couple different types of dry welds, or what they call cold welds. And cold welds are JB Weld. So what I did was I bought the high heat JB Weld, basically for things that get really hot, mufflers, grills, engine blocks. In this case, my oil pan on the bottom, and it's a little bit of a stronger hold, so we'll see. So you know, I probably lost, I don't know, the diesel carries about 14 quarts of oil. I'll bet you I've lost half of that, and I need to be really thankful that I was able to get here in front of the Airstream at my base camp, and not on the side of the road. But JB Weld is your product. I've used it to fix our ABS plastic stuff in the Airstream. The shower pan I fixed with JB Weld, and it's a great product. But you know, I've got some other things going on with the van too. This project is going to be a big one, and it's going to be a costly one. To fix this oil pan, they're going to have to remove the engine from the van. So The only way to get to this oil pan is to completely disassemble the engine, put chains around the engine, take the really the big 4 nuts that hold the engine onto the frame, and take the entire engine off or out. And then once the engine's out, you can change the oil pan fairly easy. But yeah, it's going to be costly at $110 an hour for labor. Just the labor alone on this job will be around 15 hours. Just the labor. That's not even fixing anything. So this is going to be a costly fix. So, you know, that's part of, you know, this lifestyle, is you know, being able to patch things, fix things, you know, figure things out on the fly. You know, we've had the van break down before. We've been extremely fortunate so far that we have not been on the side of the road. In this case, I was getting ready to go back to Cook City, Montana, and making a 3-day trip across the country again. You know, I drove this van from Cook City to Arizona, from Arizona to Racine, Wisconsin, from Racine, Wisconsin back to Arizona, and you know, was getting ready to go back up to Montana, where they've got, you know, 4 feet of snow up there. So, you know, I'm lucky and I'm grateful that it happened here. Otherwise, I could have been on the side of the road. And listen, I've had cars break down before on the side of the road. I've had cars break down on remote national forest roads. You know, I've had flat tires on national forest roads. You know, the best thing you can do is prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That's the best you can do. And, you know, I'm not a mechanic by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm certainly not qualified to fix this. But I do know enough to be able to patch and get by, and, you know that your best friend are things like JB Weld, and, you know, just having a couple tools to do the job when you need, things like that. So it's, you know, it's extremely disappointing, and it's gonna really hit our pocketbook big time. But with the way the economy is right now and the way the market is right now, it's almost cheaper to get a car fixed. We talked about buying a new car, a new tow vehicle, and yeah, I guess we could go $40,000 in debt. I guess we could do that. 50, 60 grand in debt, possibly. But this is a 7.3 liter diesel, and it is a monster. If we can get away with fixing this, that is much cheaper than buying a new car and being in debt. Much cheaper. So we're gonna have to figure out something else. Maybe after it's fixed, I sell it. I don't know. You know, it's only got 224,000 miles on it, and for a 7.3 liter diesel, that's, you know, that's really not that much. It's all the parts that are around the engine that tend to rust, the body rusting, things like that. So yeah, I've got some big choices to make. We'll see. I've got to say though that I love this van. It breaks my heart that it's completely undrivable right now. Well, right now, but you know, this van has done more for us and our lifestyle and being on the road and being nomads than I think any other vehicle would do. You know, I've had this whole dashboard completely apart, fixing the shift tube that broke.
Alright, Scott, how are you feeling right now?
Feeling pretty good. You know, when your gear shift breaks and you can still manage to put the car in drive, I call that a good day. It's an ambulance package van, which means it has 2 alternators, 2 batteries, a beefed up chassis. It was supposed to be converted to an ambulance. So I love this van, and it's hard to make this decision on whether, you know, to scrap it or to fix it. And I think that's, you know, one of the things that nomads face that are on a budget, that don't have a lot of money, that aren't making, you know, $10,000 a month on YouTube. And you know, we have to really, you know, we have to make big decisions about money and about our tow vehicle and about this lifestyle and everything else. And so yeah, I think we're gonna get it fixed. And but anyway, it sure has been a great tow vehicle no matter what happens. I think, you know, if we could get a second car and, you know, have something a little bit more smaller, gets better gas mileage, and is a 4-wheel drive car, or an all-wheel drive car, I think that would be our preference right now, to see what we can do. And luckily, if the JB Weld holds, luckily I bought diesel oil, which is a little bit hard to find right now, but I did buy 12 quarts, and I have it in the van. So if this JB Weld holds, if this patch works and it doesn't leak any oil, then I'll be able to refill the van up with oil and at least drive it to the mechanic. You know, the good news, there's no engine damage at all, and the car is definitely drivable. It's just leaking oil profusely. Oh, good times. Yeah, so in the meantime, I will put a link below on that whole JB Weld high heat paste. I wouldn't leave home without it at all. If you are on the road, that could really save your butt in a pinch. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Time will tell. And we'll see if Babalu, we call the van, because Lucy is our Airstream, and we'll see if Babalu makes it. Anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. Keep your fingers crossed. If you've had some breakdowns in your tow vehicle as bad as this, I'd love to hear some comments and you know, at least read some inspiration, possibly some motivation, and keep me inspired a little bit, because this is going to cost some money. Anyway, hey guys, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.